Good, very late night NWS Revolution members and viewers. This is your NWS Head of Talent Relations, Michael Cole. And today, me and the NWS Board of Directors Chairman in 2026 Revolution Rumble winner, Mischief Mikey Miller, are going to give you a very late NWS Revolution Chambers pay-per-view review. Mr. Mikey Miller, please introduce yourself. I am Mischief Mikey Miller, your NWS Board of Directors Chairman, bro, and your current NWS United States Champion, Intercontinental Champion, and I will soon be the NWS World Heavyweight Champion next month at RevolutionMania 10. And you and me, Michael Cole, we're gonna reveal what happened at Revolution Chambers. So, Michael Cole, baby, bro, please take it away. Okay. Revolution, by the way, shout out to the viewer that's watching. Revolution Chambers was hailing from the Olympic Stadium in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. The commentators for the show were Joe Gowdy, Dan Abbott, and me, Michael Cole. In the office of NWS Revolution owner, chairman, and CEO Scott Kiesegale and NWS Director of Operations Jaden Miller, Scott is going over NWS paperwork. Jaden is warming up, getting ready for his match later with Instagram influencer, Someone Asked Me Ira. Jaden tells Scott he will always have his back and not to let Mikey and Ira get to him as he gets ready to accompany Jay Lawson and Noah Higgins for the tag team title defense. And then Joe Gowdy, Dan Levin, and me, NWS Head of Talent Relations, Michael Cole, welcome the fans to the Olympic Stadium and break down the match card. The first match was for the NWS Tag Team Championships. Jay Lawson and Noah Higgins, both from Dominant Studios, with NWS Director of Operations Jaden Miller, also from Dominant Studios in the corner, defeated the Hardys, Matt and Jeff Hardy. This was a good back and forth match. Jay Lawson and Noah Higgins showed a lot of good wrestling skills in this match, as well as the Hardys, Matt and Jeff Hardy, still proved that they still got it. But in the end, it was Jay Lawson and Noah Higgins that won with a double tombstone pile driver and pinned Matt and Jeff Hardy 1-2-3. After the match, Matt and Jeff Hardy shook hands with Jay Lawson and Noah Higgins. This was a really good back and forth match. I really enjoyed counting it with Joe Gowdy and Dan Abbott. How about you, Mischief Mikey? Oh yes, bro, it was indeed a very good match. My former best friends Jay Lawson and Noah Higgins proved why they deserve to be NWS Tag Team Champions. But I got a feeling that me and Iowa are going to be the ones to take the tag team titles off of them at the March pay-per-view. I'll get to that more later in the video. But yeah, that was a good match. And then NWS co-general manager Paul Heyman gives an update on the status of NWS general manager Don Callis, saying he's expected to return at RevolutionMania 10. And then Someone Asked Me Ira wishes Don Callis a speedy recovery and talks business with Paul Heyman, and asks me, Mischief Mikey Miller, tips on how to defeat Jaden Miller, and I gave him great tips. Unfortunately, those tips backfired due to Jaden Miller using dirty tactics to retain his NWS Hardcore Championship. But the next match was for the end. So the next was my match. It was for the NWS United States Championship, Intercontinental Championship. NWS Board of Directors Chairman Mischief Mikey Miller with NWS co-general manager Paul Heyman in my corner defeated Darby Allin. That's right, I defeated Darby Allin. AW, everybody's favorite AEW wrestler. I personally think Darby Allin is overrated. I think he sucks. But he put on a good wrestling match, but in the end, I pinned Darby Allin. Then with the I pinned Darby Allin 1, 2, 3 with the and I'm still your NWS United States champion and your NWS Intercontinental champion, baby. I mean, my boardroom slam is one of the best moves here in the NWS Revolution. What you think, Michael Cole? What you think of me defeating Darby Allin and retaining the NWS United States title and the NWS Intercontinental title? I think it was a very good. I think it was indeed a very good match. Your boardroom slam or your walk bottom or whatever you call your move. It's a very powerful move. But yeah, that was a really good match. That was indeed a really, really good match. And even though that I don't like the things you do, Mischief Mikey Miller, when it comes to wrestling skills, you got it. You definitely could wrestle. So. And next was for the NWS Hardcore Championship. NWS Director of Operations Jaden Miller with Scott Kisegeo in his corner defeated Iru. Someone asked me Ira with NWS General Manager Paul Heyman in a last man standing match. This was a really good back and forth match. Jaden Miller beat the holy hell out of Ira, and then Ira beat the holy hell out of Jaden. Fans were cheering Jaden Miller all the way. Canada loves Jaden Miller. They were cheering him on right and left, and he showed amazing wrestling skills. Even Ira showed amazing wrestling skills. Paul Heyman did get involved in this match as he hit Jaden Miller in the back of a steel chair and on the head. Ira then, as the referee counted, and then, however, Jaden Miller somehow, some way, got up at the count of 8. Jaden Miller then powerbombed Ira through a table. Ira got up at the count of 9. Then both Jaden Miller and someone asked me Ira hit each other with a steel chair. They both went down. The referee counted. Both of them got up at 9. Ira then gave a razor's edge to Jaden Miller in the middle of the ring as the referee counted. Jaden Miller got up at 9. Jaden Miller then dropped Ira with a Minecraft slam in the middle of the ring. Ira got up at 9.5. They used candlesticks on each other. Ira low blow Jaden Miller, hit him with multiple candlesticks and singing with canes, even a nightstick, even a ladder, and a steel chair, and pounded away on Jaden Miller. But somehow, some way, that could not keep Jaden Miller down. And then Jaden Miller fired up. He punched a steel chair right into the face of Ira, got a belt, and started whacking Ira in the back with a jeans belt, and continued to beat Ira with the belt and pounded away on Ira with a leather belt, and spanked Ira, and then washed his mouth out with soap, and then Ira put soap in Jaden's mouth. They threw soap at each other. They beat the holy crap. I mean, fans were going nuts for this match. And in the end, Jaden Miller dropped. Someone asked me Ira through a glass table, but with the Minecraft slam, and the referee counted 10 and winner, and still NWS Hardcore Champion, NWS Director of Operations, Jaden Miller from Darman Studios. Wow, Jaden Miller has been really improved here in the NWS Revolution. He is definitely over with the crowd. He is over with every professional wrestling fan. What do you think about this, Mischief Mikey Miller? you know, Jaden Miller, my goody two shoes brother, Jaden Miller, over with the crowd. That's because the Canadian fans that were cheering Jaden Miller are goody two shoes themselves. I mean, what has Jaden Miller exactly done here in the NWS Revolution for him to be over with the crowd? The fans should be cheering me, but no, the fans boo me. The Canadian fans booed me. They said I suck. I don't suck. Have they seen? I mean, they saw how great I am in the wrestling ring. They saw how great I am on the mic. They saw how great I am on my dominant series, Mischief Mikey Mueller. They know that I have talent. Yet they boo me and they cheer my goody two shoe brothers, Jaden Miller. I don't get it. But anyway, yes, both Jaden Miller and someone asked me Ira put on one hell of a hardcore last man standing match. This was great. This was indeed great. And now let's talk about the first Revolution Elimination Chamber match. It was It was the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight versus Vinny Joe and versus Psycho Mercer. And the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes defeated Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, LA Knight. Randy Orton and LA Knight were beating the holy hell out of each other, and Randy Orton beat the holy hell out of Psycho Mercer and Vinny Joe. And Randy Orton delivered a devastating RKO to Roman Reigns and pinned him one. And then Roman Reigns delivered a devastating spear and Superman punch to Randy Orton, pinning him and eliminating Roman Reigns from the match. Then it was down to Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton, LA Knight, and Drew McIntyre and LA Knight beat the holy hell out of each other. LA, LA, LA Knight then dropped Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton with his finisher, pinning them and eliminating both Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. Then it was down to Vinny Joe, Psycho Mercer, and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. And both of them tried to eliminate each other. They used steel chairs, they used metal pipe. Um, Psycho Mercer hit Vinny Joe on the head with a steel chair, busting him open. Psycho Mercer then hit Cody Rhodes on the head with a baseball bat, busting open. And he tried his very best to eliminate the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, but then it was down to both Vinny Joe and Psycho Mercer. Oh boy, though, they were just beating the crap out of each other. And in the end, Vinny Joe then delivered a power bomb to Psycho Mercer and came very close to eliminating him. And then Psycho Mercer delivered a devastating Psycho Bomb and Muscle Buster to the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and to Vinny Joe. Vinny Joe fired up and he ended up Vinny bombing Psycho Mercer, pinning him 1, 2, 3, and eliminating him from the elimination chamber. And then it was down to the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and Vinny Joe. They were wrestling back and forth with move up to move, submission to submission. They threw each other into the elimination chamber doors because they were just beating the holy hell out of each other. Vinny Joe slammed Cody Rhodes on thumbtacks and then whacked him with the steel steps. And then Cody Rhodes and him, they just tore the house down. And Vinny Joe came this close to eliminating the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. Yes, he came this close. He came very, very, very close to eliminating Cody Rhodes. No matter how hard he tried. But it was Cody. but it was Cody Rhodes that but then Cody Rhodes came through in the end. I mean, they tried back and forth. I mean, no matter. And then Cody Rhodes delivered a crossroads to Vinny Joe, eliminating him from the match and winner and new number one contender for the undisputed NWS Championship, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, and at RevolutionMania 10 in the co-main event, it will be the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes versus Cody Mercer for the NWS undisputed the heavyweight champion. In my opinion, why does Cody Rhodes always get everything handed to him on a silver platter? I mean, come on. I've beaten Cody Rhodes. In my opinion, I think Vinny Joe should have won a match. Even though that I don't like Vinny Joe, he is a good wrestler. I mean, come on, Michael Cole. You have to, bro. You have to agree with me in that Vinny Joe could have easily won the match. What do you think, Michael Cole? Yes, it was a great match. In my opinion, I think Vinny Joe should be added to the match between Cody Mercer and Cody Rhodes for the NWS Undisputed Championship. Because in my opinion, Vinny Joe deserves it. In my opinion, Vinny Joe should have won the Elimination Chamber match instead of Cody Rhodes. Because Vinny Joe, and I know Scott Kisageo will definitely do what he can to make sure that Vinny Joe is added to the match if Cody Mercer wants it. But that's up to Cody Mercer. But yeah, Cody Mercer and Cody Rhodes, they have a long history here in the NWS Revolution. It's going to be Cody Rhodes versus Cody Mercer in the co-main event at RevolutionMania 10 for the NWS Undisputed Championship. Now, what's going to happen is Cody Rhodes going to become a two-time NWS Undisputed Champion, or is Cody Mercer going to retain? We never know what's going to happen, Ben. But anyway, it was a great match. And then after that, speaking of Cody Mercer, NWS CEO Cody Mercer, co-general manager Paul Heyman in his corner defeated Dustin Runnels, the brother of Cody Rhodes, in a street fight match. This was a great back and forth match. This was lots of good wrestling moves, wrestling move after wrestling move, submission after submission, weapons after weapons. But Cody Mercer hit Dustin Runnels with a stop sign in the kitchen sink. Dustin Runnels super kicked the sink into Cody Mercer's face, hit him with stop signs. Any kind of street signs he can get his hands on, even a rock. They went back and forth. Dustin Runnels came this close to defeating Cody Mercer, but Cody Mercer got a shoulder up. Cody Mercer then Mercer stunned Dustin Runnels, dropped him with the attitude adjustment. But the Mercer bomb, the Superman punch, and the spear. And in the end, winner and still NWS Undisputed Champion Cody Mercer via pinfall with stunner, attitude adjustment, Superman punch, and spear. And then after the match, Cody Rhodes came out and both Cody Rhodes and Cody Mercer had a stare down. But yes, I do think that Vinny Joe deserves a shot at a singles title because he has been here in the NWS Revolution since late 2000, since 2022. He at least deserves a singles title because he has busted his ass to get where he's at. But anyway, now it's the main event. NWS Elimination Chamber match number 2. NWS World Heavyweight Champion Elimination Chamber match. Scott Kisagale, also NWS Revolution owner, chairman, CEO Scott Kisagale, also known as Scooter St. One, with NWS Director of Operations Jaden Miller in his corner, defeated CM Punk, MJF, Brian Breaker, Michael Miner, Rob McGovern, and Jacob McGovern. Match highlights and order of elimination. The start. The match began with technical specialist Rob McGovern and Michael Miner as the first two entrants. The two traded holds for the opening 5 minutes until the first pod opened. The powerhouse Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman in his corner was the first released from a pod, immediately clearing the ring with overhead belly-to-belly suplexes on both McGovern and Michael Miner. First elimination, Jacob McGovern entered next, attempting to save his father, Rob, but the father and son were overwhelmed by Braun Breaker, eliminated Jacob McGovern following a thunderous spear. Mind Games. MJF Maxwell Jacob Freeman, the current AEW World Heavyweight Champion, who had just entered his first practice as the final participant. Shocking is in a moment of chaos, Michael Miner caught MJF with a surprise rope for the free count, eliminating the South of the Earth to the crowd's delight. Final four of the match nailed down to Scooter St. William, CM Punk, Braun Breaker, and Michael Miner. Braun Breaker eliminated Michael Miner with a military press power slam. The final stretch, a bloody CM Punk managed to eliminate Braun Breaker after a GTS go to sleep. During a sequence where Breaker missed the spear and hit the steel chain wall, the finish, the final two were the champion. And the best in the world, CM Punk had Scott Kisageo in the Anaconda Vice, but Jaden Miller distracted the referee. Scott Kisageo Scooter St. William used the distraction to hit CM Punk with the championship belt and followed up with his finishing move RKO to secure the pinfall, winner and still NWS World Heavyweight Champion Scott Kisageo, also known as Scooter St. William. And Scott Kisageo is over with the crowd, but sometimes when it comes to an elimination chamber match, just like the Royal Rumble, it's every man for himself. And you must do whatever it takes to win. Even if you have to use dirty antics, you still gotta do whatever it takes to win. And that's exactly what Scott Kisageo, also known as Scooter St. William, did. And now it's official. It's going to be Scott Kisageo, also known as Scooter St. William, versus NWS Board of Directors Chairman Mischief Mikey Miller for the NWS World Heavyweight Championship in the main event at RevolutionMania 10. And I'm looking forward to calling that match with Joe Garley and Dan Lambert at RevolutionMania 10 because it's going to be one hell of a match. What do you think, Mr. Mikey Miller? Yes, I am so glad that my adopted father, Scott Kisageo, also known as Scooter St. William, retained his NWS World Heavyweight Champion, and now it's official. So I did watch Scott Kisageo's promo, and he cut a good promo. He meant business. Scott Kisageo in his promo was at his most serious ever. And after the match, both me and Scott Kisageo had a stare down. That's right. Me and Scott Kisageo had a stare down. And I told Scott Kisageo to his face at the match that I will see him at RevolutionMania 10 and I will take away his NWS World Heavyweight title. Not only that, but if I beat Scott Kisageo, also known as Scooter St. William, if I beat him, I'm going to become the co-owner of the NWS Revolution. Yes, I am. I am the official permanent NWS Board of Directors Chairman, and I'm going to be soon the new NWS World Heavyweight Champion and a new co-owner of the NWS Revolution, which means me and Scott Kisageo will be sharing ownership 50-50. Yes, me at the RevolutionMania 10, I will be your new World Heavyweight Champion, and I will be your new co-owner and still the NWS Board of Directors Chairman. So I'm going to have a lot of power here in the NWS Revolution, which means when I become the new World Heavyweight Champion, the co-owner, me and Scott have to agree 50-50. That's right, 50-50. I am going to own Scott Kisageo, Michael Cole. I am going to own Scott Casey Gale. Scott Casey Gale will always be my adopted father. But not only that, Scott Casey Gale will always be my permanent shadow and my permanent lap warmer. No doubt about that. Scott Casey Gale at RevolutionMania 10, you are going down, bro. And I will be responding to your promo tomorrow here on the MWS Revolution because you had a lot to say about me in a 15-minute promo. Well, I have a lot to say about you. So, Scott Casey Gale, I hope you watch because I'm going to be at my most best and I will take away your title at RevolutionMania 10. This is your NWS Board of Directors Chairman, Mischief Mikey signing off. I will wait the Revolution Chambers pay-per-view. 5 stars, 2 thumbs up, a solid 10 out of 10, and an A triple plus. What about you, Michael Cole? It was indeed a great pay-per-view. 10 out of 10, 5 stars, 2 thumbs up, and an A triple plus. And this coming Thursday or Friday, Joe Golly, Dan Lambert, and Mr. Mikey Miller will be giving you their NWS Revolution Impact Review. This is your NWS Head of Talent Relations, Michael Cole, signing up, saying good night, everybody, and thank you for watching.